Oh yeah, we definitely did. You know, especially as well as Joe knows him. You know, we figured that he knew we were gonna be expecting the left hook, but we were also training the whole time to be expecting the right hand. I was really expecting the way he was throwing it, very kind of like a looping overhand. But yeah, he caught me a couple times with it when I didn't expect it. But yeah.
Dropped him in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What was going through your head when that happened?
I was not surprised that he got up. Barrios is a tough son of a gun, and I knew that if he went down, and I told Holly as well, this is gonna be a long fight.
Barrios is a warrior, so we have to give it up to Mario Barrios for being a great champion, for putting up a valiant fight. But I do have to say I'm very, very proud of Ryan Garcia. Winning a first world title for a fighter is probably the most special experience he's gonna have up in that ring.
But I knew he was a champion, and he was gonna just let it go that easy. So just stayed focused and went back to the jab.
Ryan, right. Win that belt. How you entered it at, trying to get shit over the corner. How special was it? Especially factoring the man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I dedicated this fight to my father. You know, that was the beginning of this whole journey. I said, Dad, I'm gonna be a champion. Like I'm ready now.
Caleb, what'd you think about tonight's performance? Ryan, what'd you think about tonight's performance?
Man, he looked crispy, he looked fast.
The final bell at the T-Mobile Arena didn't just mark the end of a bout. It felt like the closing of a chapter in boxing history. As Ryan Garcia's arm was lifted in victory, the crowd erupted in thunderous applause. Yet if you shifted your gaze to Mario Barrios, something unusual was there. No anger, no protest, just a quiet, heavy acknowledgement of reality. For months, whispers had circulated about the physical strain Barrios had endured over a career filled with punishing battles. But what unfolded afterward caught everyone off guard. In a post-fight interview that's now reverberating across the boxing world, Barrios didn't merely reflect on the loss. He offered what felt like a heartfelt farewell to the sport itself. Could this have been the moment when a seasoned warrior finally confronted the truth that his body could no longer match the unyielding drive of his spirit?
Mario, what went wrong for you in the ring tonight?
I was caught early with a punch that I didn't see. And then, other than that, he came in here, he had the better game plan. He boxed very smart, very explosive, very intelligent, and it was his night.
You almost looked surprised in that first round when he was throwing so many right hands and you went down from that right hand. Did you expect him to go to that punch so early?
Oh yeah, we definitely did. Especially as well as Joe knows him. We figured that he knew we were gonna be expecting the left hook, but we were also training the whole time to be expecting the right hand. I was really expecting the way he was throwing it, very kind of like a looping overhand. But yeah, he caught me a couple times with it when I didn't expect it. But yeah.
Is he a little bit better than you anticipated coming in?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know he definitely had the boxing abilities. He fought a very smart fight. He just, he stuck with boxing, sticking and moving, and he just had the better game.
The 12 rounds felt less like a battle and more like a symbolic passing of the torch. From the very first minute, Ryan Garcia came out with a fierce intensity, scoring a sharp knockdown in round one that set the tone for the entire fight. Mario Barrios, normally celebrated for his relentless pressure and iron jaw, appeared off his rhythm, lagging behind in a way fans hadn't seen before. The judges' scorecards told a clear story: 119 to 108 and 120 to 107. A level of control that was painful for Barrios' longtime supporters to witness. It wasn't for lack of effort. Rather, the timing and precision that had once defined his championship performances seemed to vanish into the Las Vegas night.
A lot of things were on point. I mean, I pretty much did what I was doing in camp. just to everybody, just like staying. I realized like I'm really faster than everybody. Why am I even like moving? I could just stay right there. Counter, 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 scare them. Like, you know, like, why do I even need to move? Like, I'm quick. Like, when I'm in shape and like on fire, like, I'm really quick.
But the real story began the moment the gloves came off. In the center of the ring, battered and exhausted, Barrios spoke to the cameras with a level of honesty rarely seen in a sport so fueled by ego. He acknowledged Garcia's lightning speed, but then came the revelation. He reflected on the changing of the guard and confessed that he had poured every ounce of himself into boxing. When a fighter openly admits there's nothing left to give, even at 30 and still in his prime, it usually signals that the toll behind the scenes has become too great. This wasn't just a post-fight breakdown. It felt like a heartfelt farewell to a storied career, a moment that captured the weight of a warrior's journey.
It's key for every fighter. I mean, I would love to see more jabs in the game today, but once those fighters throw jabs, double, triple jab, there's no way of blocking them. Then you follow up with the combinations, then go back to the jab. You know, it's a thinking man's game, and if you stick to your game plan, you're gonna come out victorious.
Dropped him in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What was going through your head when that happened?
I was not surprised that he got up. Barrios is a tough son of a gun, and I knew that if he went down, and I told Holly as well, this is gonna be a long fight. Once he got back up, I knew that once you get hit, when you're a fighter, you get hit, you go down, you warm up. Your body warms up, your chin becomes granite. That's exactly what happened to Barrios. That's why the fight lasted 12 rounds. He's a tough guy.
And you mentioned it's a thinking man's game, and you just say what you say. Do you think that kind of just set the tone for the rest of the fight?
Yeah, it set the tone right from the first bell. Ryan was more composed. He was landing the cleaner shots. It was it was a master class. I have to give it up to him. I think Ryan grew exponentially tonight, beating a world champion, taking that world title. Now imagine how he's going to look in his next fight.
To understand why Barrios is stepping away now, you have to revisit his epic 2025 clash with Manny Pacquiao. That bout was meant to be the pinnacle of his career, a major title defense against one of boxing's all-time greats, culminating in a brutal, bloody draw. While it solidified his reputation as a killer of legends, insiders suggest that night took a toll he could never fully recover from. In boxing, there's a saying that every fighter only has so many punches in their career, and Barrios may have spent his entire quota just surviving those 12 punishing rounds with Pacquiao. The cost of a true warrior often reveals itself not in the battles of the moment, but in the ones that come afterward.
I'll ask you, you trained Ryan for 3 fights. Was he better than you expected tonight?
From Ryan, was that a better performance? No, that's the performance I expected from him. What we needed to do was what we needed to do more of, was press a little bit more. He's a difficult guy to track down. He's very elusive, he's very fleet of foot, quick-handed. And Mario tried his best. You know, I mean, took his big shots early and a few in the mid-rounds, but for the most part, you know, he took everything Ryan gave him and kept on coming. He was trying to get the knockout later in the rounds. Ryan wasn't as active in the late rounds. That was our opportunity, and we weren't really able to capitalize on it.
Rumors from Barrios' camp in the lead-up to the fight hinted that training had changed. Old injuries that never fully healed were flaring up, and a persistent fatigue lingered that no amount of conditioning could mask. When he spoke in his post-fight interview about letting the next generation take the reins, it wasn't mere humility, it was pragmatism. He recognized Garcia's speed and understood that the elite level he had dominated for years was now moving just beyond his natural reflexes. For a fighter, that's one of the hardest truths to face, and Barrios is one of the rare athletes with the wisdom to accept it.
Garcia pitches a shutout from 1 to 12. Mario Barrios had no idea. Joe Guzman had no idea that right hand, that looping right hand, was going to be on the money today. Now listen, they said it on the post-press conference that they were aware of it. But listen, it didn't look like it. Anytime Ryan Garcia threw that looping right hand, it landed on the money. Now, that wasn't just it. Great jab, great up jab. Mario Barrios didn't know what shots were coming. Now, in round one, everybody was surprised. Wow, he knocks Mario Barrios out with a looping right hand. Everyone's thinking, left hook, left hook, left hook. And no, Ryan Garcia was a lot more disciplined with the left hook tonight. And shout out to Henry Garcia. Shout out to Henry Garcia. I seen you, boy. I seen you, boy, in the corner, and you was killing it. Great instructions, making sure that, you know, Ryan stays disciplined with the left hand, doesn't overthrow it, doesn't let Mario Barrios time that left hand because he doesn't show it as much. Definitely the looping right hand was definitely the money shot, but like I said, once again, that jab tonight, Ryan Garcia's jab tonight was on the money. He had good defense, good instincts. He made, you know, Mario Barrios look like a C-level fighter. Not even Keith Thurman, not even Ugas could have did this. Not even Pacquiao could have did this. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios better than anybody, even better than Tank. Tank Davis was down on the unofficial scorecards until Floyd Mayweather came up into the corner. I was there. I was in Atlanta that day. And he was losing the fight until he stopped Mario Barrios.
This isn't a story of defeat. Barrios is already turning his attention to a new mission in San Antonio and Dallas, focusing on youth boxing and community initiatives. He's determined to help shape the next generation of fighters, without them having to endure the punishing grind that defined his own career. There's a special kind of honor in an athlete who recognizes they can make a bigger impact outside the ring than inside it. By choosing to mentor, while he still has the energy and clarity to do so, Barrios is taking a path many of his predecessors waited too long to embrace.
Kevin Garcia down here in the front. Two questions for you. First question, can you talk about how much sweeter, if at all, this victory was, being that Joe Goosen was in the other corner?
I mean, it doesn't make it too much sweeter. I mean, Joe, it just doesn't really move me too much that it was because of Joe. I mean, it bugged me at first, but I mean, what are you gonna do about it? I had 2 months to get over it, so it's really nothing. But he did try to get in my head in that one of the rounds, and I started looking at him every time I hit Mario. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.
How did he try to get in your head?
He was just saying, "Oh, that was nothing. Oh, he only has a hook." Blah blah blah. And I was just like, "Bro," and I had to stop and just be like, "All right, bang bang, bang bang, bang," with my hurt hand too. But I was so mad and irritated, I started throwing it even though it was hurting. I was like, "Fuck it." Yeah.
Last question for me. You know, you spoke about it a little while ago, Devin Haney, and one thing he said recently, he said the rematch wouldn't happen because you had dropped out of VADA. Can you just right here, right now, clarify that so that there's no impediment to the fight?
Let me answer that question.
I mean, just look.
Let me answer that question.
You think I got an IV? Like, bro, this is a blood work.
Even Ryan Garcia, usually known for his bold personality and social media bravado, showed a rare moment of respect. His post-fight messages didn't carry the usual "I'm the best" tone. Instead, he praised Barrios as a true warrior and reminded San Antonio that they should be proud of their fighter. When your opponent, the same man who spent 36 minutes relentlessly pushing you to the limit, expresses that kind of admiration, it speaks volumes about the respect Barrios commands. Ryan didn't just defeat a champion that night. He shared the ring with a fighter who was taking his final bow.
Are you surprised a bit by how it seemed like Mario really didn't have any answers for anything that
I was surprised. Mario, sometimes he can fall into that one-dimensional type style, you know, being a little stationary, staying at the mid-range and not being first, staying at the mid-range and not, you know, countering off and firing off. He's not the most reactive type of fighter, you know. If he can have his way and, you know, be technical, you're fighting his pace, then he's most comfortable. But when it's not like that, then it's kind of tough. That I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think that Ryan Garcia, I think that the style of Barrios kind of, you know, also helped with Ryan's style. So, you know, styles make fights. I just can't say that, oh, he'll beat Shakur or be a good fight for Shakur because he's looked good against Barrios. Barrios is not a Shakur Stevenson, with all due respect. You know, they have totally different styles. And I think with Barrios' style, Ryan shined tonight.
Mario Barrios retires with a record of 29 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws, holding titles across multiple weight divisions. Throughout his career, he never shied away from a formidable opponent, from Gervonta Tank Davis to Manny Pacquiao to Ryan Garcia. In a sport where the most shocking retirements are usually followed by drawn-out comebacks, Barrios' decision is refreshingly honest. He's showing that a true champion's greatest victory isn't always measured on the scorecards. It's recognizing the right moment to hang up the gloves and leave the ring with pride intact. The arenas may be a little quieter without him, but the difference he's poised to make in the communities of San Antonio may end up being his most lasting triumph.
Wow, what a performance from Ryan Garcia. Absolutely dominating Mario Barrios. I think one judge had it 12-0, one judge had it 11-1, and the other judge had it 10-2 in the rounds that they gave Ryan Garcia opposed to Mario Barrios. A fight that, yes, a lot of people predicted Ryan Garcia would win, some by decision. I don't think any by the way of decision. Absolute masterclass from Ryan Garcia, not only using the left hook, but using the right hand, using the jab, outboxing Barrios. The defense was there for Ryan Garcia. It was a complete performance from Ryan Garcia, and a Ryan Garcia performance that I think I can say very confidently, just an hour after the performance ended, it's easily the best of his career. That's how good this performance from Ryan Garcia was against Mario Barrios. Ryan Garcia came into this fight, everyone said, hey, you got to take away the left hook. It seemed like that's all Barrios' camp focused on, and they didn't think that Ryan Garcia even had a right hand. Ryan Garcia drops Barrios in the first round. It's like, whoa, is that the right hand? Okay. And then continually throughout the fight, he'd set it up with the jab, then he'd move around. And everything he did, he just confused Mario Barrios. Barrios looked bewildered in the ring with Ryan Garcia. Barrios is looking around like, I didn't think any of this was going to happen. And I question, name one good offensive moment in this fight from Mario Barrios. You can't. That's because Ryan Garcia was dominating. He wasn't allowing Barrios to get on the inside like Joe Goosen was trying to tell Barrios to do. And Ryan Garcia just completely dominated.
Now we want to hear from you. Do you think this is truly the end of the road for the former champion? Should Mario Barrios step away from boxing for good? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss our future uploads. And remember, your opinions matter. So drop a comment and let us know what you think. We'll see you in the next video.